Instagram too.
2, 1. We are live to Instagram next time if we can. I think we can. What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the Referral Partner Acquisition Group. If you're new to the show, my name is Will Anagnos. I'm the owner at W Marketing Solutions. Thanks for being here. As always, I'm here with my co-hosts, Panos Kavanitis and David Youngs. If you're new to the show, we do this every Friday at 12 noon Eastern. We talk about how you can acquire referral partners, how you can provide them value, and retain them long-term so that you can have a relationship-based business built off referrals, because that is the most fun, easiest, and sustainable business model, is it not? So let's go ahead and get started. If you guys find this valuable today, please let us know by either commenting, letting us know, leave a comment, drop a question, slap that like button. Today we're going to be talking about message outreach crafting. The message that you portray to the audience you're reaching out to. So if you're a loan officer, which you probably are, and you're targeting real estate agents, it's important that the message that you are sending to them resonates with them. Whether it's you calling them and they hear your voice, that means your tonality needs to be on touch. That means the things you're saying needs to be on touch. And I mean, the person you're speaking to has to be, well, the person you want to speak to. That makes sense with everything you're saying. So when it comes to Facebook, your message must resonate with them. When it comes to LinkedIn, your message must resonate with them. However you're doing your outreach, if it's face-to-face, you must be presentable, say the right things, try not to say something stupid, but that's really hard. It's really hard not to make stupid mistakes. So the great part about doing organic outreach on LinkedIn, for example, or any platform, is one, it's organic. You don't have to pay to make it happen. 2, you can do it to a wider audience. And 3, you can do it faster. And it doesn't matter if you're doing it at home versus out and about in the field. As long as your message resonates with the audience, that's all that matters, right? Whether you do it in person, the old, long, traditional way, or you do it from your desk at your computer or on your phone on the go. As long as it resonates with them and it gets someone interested in speaking with you, at the end of the day, isn't that really what matters? So today we're going to be going through proper outreach crafting, because it's very different. The whole mindset and the way you execute this is different than what you may be used to, hopping on the phone or going to an open house and shaking hands. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be talking about is, and by the way, before we get started, can you guys read this? Is it too small? Are we all good with size?
I think it's good.
Perfect. Okay. So first we're going to go over the connection message, the welcome message, the follow-ups, replies, and objections. So those 5 things all wrap around or are underneath the umbrella of outreach message crafting. So let's start with crafting your connection message. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the message that you are using to connect with that person, whoever it is. It could be a realtor, it could be, direct to the consumer, whoever your audience is. So the connection message is the first message that you send a prospect. And the goal of that message is to convince the prospect to connect with you on the platform. So and this applies to many platforms. If you're on LinkedIn, you want them to connect with you. If you're on Facebook, you want them to become your Facebook friend. If you're on Instagram, you want them to follow you. So your connection message, the goal is not to get an appointment. The goal is not to get a referral. The goal is none of that. The goal is just to have them follow you back, connect with you back, open up each other's networks, be connected, and become Facebook friends, whatever the platform may be. We love LinkedIn because we see the highest conversion there, but this does apply for all platforms that have the messaging function, because I don't think all platforms do. So that is the connection message. Don't get that mixed up with trying to get on the phone call with someone or get a referral from someone or anything like that. Each touch point, there's many touch points before getting, business, becoming partners with someone. So this is just the first touch point. Guys, is there any points that I've missed regarding the first touch point? Or you guys think I'm A-okay on this?
I got one thought is just
perfect.
If you're so like Will, let's use Panos. Panos, if I don't know you and you don't know me, and I reach out to you and I'm just like, hey, let's connect. Or you get a connection request randomly. I mean, you might look me up, you might check and see who I am, but you don't know who I am. So if there's no message with it, then why would you connect? I mean,
Good
there's
point.
no for you. So it's just that's why I think, as you highlighted, Will, it's so important to craft this message well.
Mhm.
Why should they connect with you? Do you have mutual connections? Did you like something that they posted? Did you notice if it's a realtor? Did you notice an open house? If it's a financial advisor, did they have a really cool presentation or a document they shared, maybe, or some industry stats or whatever? Put something in there to make it personal. So it's like, oh, he saw my post.
Yep.
That's why he's reaching out. I'd love to connect with him.
Yeah, personalization is huge. Even if you're automating the process, as long as you're automating it authentically and no one knows that it's being automated, and you personalize it that way, that does work. So most people would ask, if I want to automate it, how does that work? So you can authenticate it. Use authentic automation to make it personalized. But yes, go on their profile, and add that into your connection message. If I could say there's a formula to this connection message, it would be hi first name, and then very important, you want to press enter on your keyboard twice so that they have to click a certain button to see more. And we've seen that most people who do that end up actually connecting with them. So after that second space, you want to, say, hey, I want to connect. I'm looking to speak with a realtor. Kind of leave it open. Mention something that was on their profile if possible, like David said, and make it as personalized as possible. But it's kind of like knocking on someone's door and leaving a note so that they can read the note, and that's just giving you an extra way for them to open the door. Because if someone knocks on the door and they don't know who it is, then why would they open it? So the note really helps. And you mentioned earlier about this note. If you're doing this on LinkedIn, a lot of people, they connect with real estate agents, for example, without leaving the first touch point. LinkedIn calls it a note. So when you're connecting with potential referral partners on the platform so that you can book one-on-one appointments with them, get to know them, and nurture the relationship, it's really important to add the first touch point because it can be forgotten and skipped, which greatly reduces the connection rate. We don't want that, because if you don't connect with them, then you don't get your opportunity for touch points 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, etc.
Which, by the way, on LinkedIn, because I know our group, of course, does a ton of LinkedIn marketing, as you said. When you go to send a connection request, it auto defaults to the big blue icon of connect.
Mm-hmm.
And then in gray, not so pushed by LinkedIn, it says add a note. That's what we're talking about, is that spot. Add a note. Don't just hit connect. Add a personalized note. Change it so it doesn't just say, hey, Panos, I'd like to connect.
Yeah, how about I actually show our viewers that exactly that, so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah, great idea.
Hang tight, guys. All right, so I'm on my LinkedIn page. Let me just find a random person who I'm not connected with. Let's go to realtor. People. All right, so if I click connect with Nate, it's gonna say, like, you want your cursor. If you're not used to this platform, your cursor is gonna go straight to send, and you're gonna click it, and your opportunity is lost. This is what David was referring to, this add a note thing. So you click add a note, and this is where you add your connection message. So, hi, Nate. I wrote name, but Nate, space, I'm looking to connect, etc. So that's what we're talking about, guys. And then you want to click send. And if you're automating this, the same process. You're just automating it. But you want to add that there. It can be skipped, and you don't want to skip it because it's an opportunity to raise your connection rate. So I'm not sharing that anymore. Hopefully you guys saw that, and that all makes sense. So the connection message is huge. That's the first touch point. That's what we also call it. The welcome message. That's the second touch point message that you send a prospect, which is following the connection message. So the goal of this message, each message has a goal, guys. The connection message was to connect. This message is to state your purpose and showcase some value, and then ask for the one-on-one appointment. So the formula you would want to follow to state your purpose, showcase your value, and ask to meet one-on-one is a brief introduction on yourself, a benefit or benefits to them connecting with you, because you need to be upfront. Why the H are they going to want to connect with you, invest a moment on Messenger with you or a chunk of time out of their day on a phone call with you. So that benefit to them, that has to be upfront. So you crafting your unique selling point, your unique value proposition, that is where this is going to go in your benefits. And so you can add the 3 benefits. I specialize in this. I can refer you clients, whatever it may be else for you. I help. I have access to discounted Facebook ads. Do you have any listings that you want to advertise? So whatever your unique value proposition is, that's where this one would want to go. So a brief intro is very simple. You want to tell them who you are and why you're reaching out. I'm a local, or I am a Nevada-based, I am a Florida-based loan officer, and I'm looking to partner up with a real estate agent in our area, or in your area, or in this area of this, the area. So telling them up front, because the reality is I found that people are afraid to do this sort of outreach on their own, which is why they have us do it. But they should, and you shouldn't be, because you're not selling. That's the people, they feel like they're selling when they're doing their outreach. You guys aren't selling anything. You guys are networking. You guys, the goal is to hop on a phone call. And once you do, is it to sell something? No. Besides yourself, it's yourself to let them get to know you and you sell yourself. So, which is networking, guys. So don't let this discourage you. So telling them up front, this is who I am. I'm a local MLO and I'm looking to partner up with a realtor. Be upfront, because they need to know that. And then the benefits. I can help you do X, Y, and Z with A, B, and C. That's kind of an example formula right there. And then the call to action. Would you be open to a chat next week? Are you free for a call tomorrow at 5 o'clock? Do not say things like, let me know. Do not say things like, you can email me at. Ask them a straightforward question. The most flexible I would be in my professional advice would be offer 2 times. Are you available tomorrow at 3 or Tuesday at 2? Like no more than that. So don't leave it open. If the ball's in their court, give them options so that they can answer easily. Make it easy for them. Think about put yourself in their shoes. Make it as easy and as no-brainer as possible. They open up their phone. They see the value proposition. They open up your profile. It's attractive. It's different. They have nothing to lose based off the benefits and the way you've introduced yourself. They think it's different. It is different. No one else is doing this, at least the way what we're doing it. Only our members are. And they're going to want to say, hey, yeah, I do want to chat. Let's do it tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Or I do have a local lender I work with, but it's always good to have options. Like I see these responses all the time. So that's the welcome message, guys. Did I miss anything? What do you think?
I think you need to make it as personal. This is the one that you need to put your entire focus on. Like that. This is the most important.
This is the most important message of all, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because all your follow-ups will be so people can see this message, right? Like, yes. So this is the main. So put some work into it. Test different variations. Highlight perhaps different things that you think may provoke a positive response. Don't just say that, hey, I'm just looking for you to send me business. Obviously, that doesn't work. And yeah, make it as unique as you can.
Yeah, the follow-ups that I'll get into in a moment, which is on the next slides, it all ties back to the welcome message. Because what we've noticed in our years of doing this is you want the individuals to not get confused. So if you're doing outreach to realtors and you're trying to grow your referral network, don't confuse them by trying to rephrase your offers in many messages. It doesn't hurt to bring up a few things, but you really want them to say, you really want to guide them to say, hey, like scroll up, like look at this one thing, which is where like it all is. Everything you need to know: who I am, why that I'm reaching out, why would you benefit from investing a millisecond of your time on me, and a call to action. Put the ball in their court, but don't give them too many options and don't leave it open. So that gets us into the follow-ups, which I just mentioned. So interesting statistic we'll get into that David mentioned earlier. This number may seem big, may seem like a big number to people, but the reality is you must have at least 8 or more follow-ups prepared in case the prospects don't see your initial 2 messages, the connection and the welcome. They won't, for the most part, see. Messages get buried. People are not organized. Like I've seen, we all know those people who have like 1,000 notifications on their phone. They don't read them. They don't unsubscribe. They just leave it the way it is, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Big pet peeve of mine. And so expect people just to not see some of your messages, and they'll appreciate your consistency. So, I mean, what we've noticed is most prospects don't really get back to us until, and when I say us, I mean our loan officers, touch points 3 to 5, but it can be up to 8. David, I don't know if you want to mention what you mentioned to me earlier when we were offline.
Just a little bit. There isn't an exact number per se, but there was a recent study done of 489 sellers who outbound prospected different audiences. And on average, it took 8 connections, or 8 messages, I should say, before the connection was actually made and the person interacted with them. But if you're a top performer, they found that some were getting as few as 5 messages. So if you really have your messaging crafted correctly, and you're good at what to do and what to say, and we're going to talk about this briefly, objection handling, you know how to do these things, you might be able to convert sooner. But let's just, like, worst case scenario, average results 8+ is what you typically need for these connections. Because the thing is, you think about how many messages a day do you get from different people, especially if you're in an industry where maybe you're being targeted a lot, like if you're a realtor and mortgage professionals are chasing you. I actually like bringing that up, by the way, in every conversation. How many calls this week did you get from an LO?
Yeah, make it a joke. It's hilarious.
and they always laugh every time. And they're like, some of them are like, I got 2 or 3. I've had others tell me I got 10 today. I mean, they get hit all the time. So if you don't stand out and you aren't showing consistency, then you're probably not going to actually take your connection request.
A lot of your competition is not going to be consistent, which is why you should have systems built around you to be consistent for you when you're sleeping or busy, which is why a lot of our clients work with us. What were you going to say?
Plus, too, you got to remember, most of the competition, if you're a mortgage professional, which of course this is what this is designed for primarily, is mortgage professionals. If you're in that world, most of us are trained and taught cold call. So realtors are used to getting phone calls like that. But if you got a personalized connection saying, hey, Panos, this is David, saw we had some mutual connections. I noticed we're both in the same industry. I saw your post the other day, whatever it was. And you make that personalization, and they are quicker to connect with you. Now, when you call, it's not a cold call. It's a warm call. So you still call, but you do that after all.
It's a warm call.
Now it's a warm call. Exactly. Your chances are way higher.
And this, it rarely happens after 1 or 2 outreach messages, guys. So like we have a lot of loan officers who go, yeah, they responded, and then I did a follow-up and never got back. Or I reached out a couple of times, or I reached out 1 time. They say a couple, but they really mean 1 or 2. Like, I don't know why people do that. They say they exaggerate, basically. It's exaggerating. And they go, I give up. Like, how about the statistic that David just mentioned? Like 5 at least. Like, we're saying 8. People don't see your stuff. And I see this every week. Realtors responding with, thank you for being consistent. I need to be more consistent in my business. I need to use this platform more. Show me what you're doing. Or like, I don't know how you're so persistent with this. Sometimes I have someone who needs to be talked to right now. My go-to lender's not picking up their phone. Like, thank you for being consistent. I've seen lots of messages like this.
I want to share one last thing.
Follow-ups are huge. Yes, please. So
a realtor that I actually worked with briefly 4 years ago, we never even closed a deal together, but because the client decided not to buy a house. But he's been in my system, and I've been reaching out to him on automation for 4 years.
Wow.
And he just replied back to me last week and said, David, I want to grab coffee because you seem like you know what you're doing. You got a lot of good content, and I've been watching and following all that you're doing. And he just referred me a client here this week.
Tell him no.
That's just nurture. Like, if you do anything long enough and correct enough, more people will be like, I mean, we've had clients be like, hey, Will, I followed you for like the last year and 2 years. You said 4 years, David, so that's a longer time.
It's a long time.
But it's nice when someone says, I've been on your email. I've been seeing your emails for like the last 2 years, and I had to do this. Like, it's enough is enough, you know? So, and it's nice. It's like, oh, I've been doing this correctly. I didn't even realize it. Well, you do realize it when they reach out to you. So it's just nice because a lot of these things are just happening in the background. You forget about it, which is beautiful because you know you're doing what you're supposed to do to make all the wheels run. So
one thing I got to change, by the way, is all my weekly automations usually go out at 11:15 Central Time during our call. So every time we're on this call, I'm getting realtors right now replying back to me to try to talk or schedule a meeting. So that's I need to change that time.
Make it like 15 minutes after.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, your follow-ups must be genuine, guys, and on point. Remember, you're not selling anything. You're just talking and networking. Like, you're not selling anything. You have nothing to be afraid of. So don't be salesy. Otherwise, they'll think that. You don't want that. And now when it comes to replies, now crafting your outreach messages, making sure that your connection message makes you connect. Your welcome message states your purpose, and your follow-ups guide back to, hey, did you see my touch point message? I know things got buried. Mention things like that. You want to use words like, your messages got buried. I know you're busy. Things of this nature. Social media, we lose things. They will reply eventually. And when they do, you must be prepared. Be prepared to see hundreds of different types of responses. I've seen it all. So, but what I've also noticed is that most responses will fall under 3 categories: neutral replies, negative replies, and positive replies. So when neutral replies happen, a lot of individuals, they don't know what to do. They actually, like, for example, a neutral reply would be, hi, David, thanks for connecting. And that's it. Like, hi, David, how are you? And that's it. That's a neutral reply. It's not good. It's not bad.
They didn't read anything you sent them so far.
Yeah, so you want to get them back on track.
I saw your message.
Yeah, this is a linear thing. It's a straight line from connection all the way to the first appointment, then beyond that. But it's a straight line. So when someone kind of gets off the straight line, put them back on track. So whether it's send out touch point 2 manually on your own or whatever makes sense, get them back on track, because you want to keep engaging with them until you get a negative or a positive. A negative reply is better than a neutral reply, because a negative reply, at least you can check it off the list and you're done with it. You have to there's no more pending. We don't want those papers to pile up. So a negative reply, when that happens, don't put your tail between your legs and walk away. Be sure to make your connection worth something. So, okay, I wasn't able to help you. Based on my profile, do you know anyone that I should speak with? 20% of people will get back to you and may refer you someone, or may say, hey, here's someone, drop my name. That's okay.
Or another idea.
If you connect with someone completely incorrectly, you can just say, hey, my AI thought you were someone I needed to connect with. David, what were you going to say?
If it's truly a negative reply, like, don't call me anymore, or don't reach out, or I hate you, whatever they say, just don't even bother. Just, hey, thanks for reaching out. Appreciate it.
Yeah. If it's an asshole reply, then do that. If it's like a not interested, but thank you, like a polite person, then you want to at least make something, because they connected with you at this point.
What I've done is I created a challenge section in my system. So what I do is I actually move them. If they put negative reply and it's a polite negative, like you just said, I move them to challenge mode, and I just write back, "Can I ask why?"
Challenge
or something to that effect. Like, why? I don't want to connect. Thanks. Can I ask why? I just ask them the question. Like, it's simple. I'm not going to go any further. I want them to explain, and they're like, "Well, I already got 5 lenders." I'm like, "Great, none of them are me."
Exactly. So that's how you uncover the objection and handle it.
Right. So
you have to uncover it first.
Push back a little bit. If they're politely declining, push back.
Yeah. Don't put your tail between your legs and walk away. I encourage you to take an extra step, like David said. And then there's positive replies. This is funny because if you don't do this right, they will ghost you. You'll get people saying, yes, tomorrow works. And you go, okay, what time? And then ghost. Nothing. So we recommend you follow. I'll just give you guys this because you guys are in this group. A strategy that we find works. It's called the 2-text technique for faster conversions. basically, if someone says yes, tomorrow works, you're going to want to, and we have a script somewhere for this, but I'm paraphrasing. You want to send 2 messages, basically one after the other. One says, great, does 2 o'clock tomorrow work? So you have tomorrow, the day, and then 2 o'clock, the time. Send. So their phone goes ding or buzz one time. And then the second message, and what's the best number to reach you at? You don't need their email. Don't ask for their email. And then what's the best number to reach you at? Send. Their phone buzzes twice. Their phone dings twice. Would we all agree that if your phone does the double ding or the double buzz, we're more likely to like pick it up and say, what was this? At least I am. So what we see is people responding faster and going, oh, yes, tomorrow works. Here's my number. And then it's booked. You avoid the whole ghosting thing because you got their attention using this 2-text technique. So,
but I do want to say something.
What we do for our clients, so you have to do it for yourself.
Yeah. That's great. I absolutely agree with this, and obviously we've been using this for years. What I would say is, if for whatever reason they don't get back to you, they agree to chat with you. They say yes, tomorrow works, and for whatever reason they don't get back to you, and tomorrow comes, find their number. Okay, find their number online. They're an agent. You can definitely find it online, and then call them. This is not a cold call. Okay, just because you didn't get to figure out the exact time, but they agreed to talk to you today. So call them up and say, hey, David, we were chatting on LinkedIn. I know you said today works. We never got to figure out what time. Do you have 10 minutes right now, or can we reschedule for like later today, tomorrow? This is not a cold call, guys. You should be very comfortable doing this. But yeah.
Be very comfortable, guys. So yeah. And then with replies comes objections. We're running out of time, so we'll just skim through this. It's be prepared. Expect them. Do not go, oh my God, Will, or oh my God, David, they said they're happy with their lenders. If you're reaching out to someone who's doing business, they should have lenders. They should. If they don't, there's something wrong. So expect it. Be prepared. So when I say be prepared, have scripts. We already do, but you should have scripts ready for. Here's some common ones. I already have existing relationships. I'm happy with my current lenders. I only work with local lenders if you're doing out-of-state stuff. Send me a lead first. That's a funny one. Email me info or send me info, or what makes you different. I won't go through how to handle all these today because we're running out of time, but you need to have scripts. You need to be prepared, and you need to make sure they're proven, they work for you. When it comes to what makes me different, what we've found helpful is to have not a website, but if you're reaching out to realtors, have a website for like where it's about you, but it's just to realtors. It's just your marketing message, branding yourself and attracting the goal realtors. So that can be a landing page that you created, a 1-page website where you go, this is what makes me different. Where you have a video, where you have a written introduction, where you have your reviews, basically all the things that realtors would ask for when they're saying what makes you different. Here you go. No need to do your whole elevator pitch and potentially screw it up, or text a paragraph that will just get skimmed.
Right. Can I just add one point?
A great way to do it. Absolutely.
This last point, this almost isn't. It's not even really an objection. They're almost giving you permission to say what makes you different. They actually are asking you the question. They're willing to take the time to engage. So I wouldn't even put this even necessarily, depending on how they phrase it, in the objection category. I would move it into more of like a neutral reply. But one thing also, you could do that, what Will just said, that's a great idea. Another thing I've tried doing is just look at their profile, look how long they've been in business. Are they doing more, just a quick glance? Are they doing more selling listings? Are they doing more buy sides, whatever it is? And then come back with 1 or 2 things and just ask them, hey, Panos, would it be helpful, just as a couple examples, would it be helpful if I showed you a program where every single one of your buyers could get $2,000 plus in free cash to buy their first home? Or, hey, would you like help marketing all of your listings so you can sell them at higher prices, control the buyer financing, make more commissions, and give your sellers up to $5,000 to buy their next house? Like, those are things I can do. And then usually that'll spark like, okay, you got me. What do you got?
You have to showcase it properly. Otherwise,
Right.
they won't care, they won't see, they won't know. So you're right.
But you can do that right in the messaging. You can just reply right back, throw in one or two things, but you got to know what your unique selling proposition is beforehand, of course, which is a whole nother topic.
Exactly. Whole nother topic. So a little recap, everything we went over today, guys. The connection message is something you must have in your pocket ready to go. A welcome message ready to go. 3 to 8 follow-ups ready to go. 3 is probably too low of a number, but at least 3 if this is too hard for you. Replies, be prepared to handle neutral, positive.
I'm sorry, I don't accept that 3 is hard, okay? Take those 3, put them on ChatGPT, use another AI tool, get them to become 8, and then edit them yourself, and now you have like
Listen
8.
to Panos. Listen to Panos. Absolutely. And then be prepared for objections. Be prepared. That way, everything will be so much easier. Like I remember this verbatim. I was doing a testimonial review with a client a long time ago, and he goes, "These scripts were a godsend. I never once had to think, what do I say? It was already given to me. I just had to copy and paste it." This person did it themselves, but he didn't have to think about what to say. He just had to copy and paste it. So yeah, guys, these are the things you need. And we provide a lot of everything so you don't have to figure this out yourself, even though it's, we're here to help you every single week. If you found this valuable, and if you want to be notified when we release our mastermind, our new mastermind, I want you to comment Spartans down below. It's called Mortgage Spartans, and we're going to give you our system for you to run on your own, but it's only open to the first 300 members. So comment Spartans down below in the comments if you want to be notified when we release that mastermind. Guys, anything you want to end off with?
I think this is it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here with us. We love you. We appreciate your time. Time is our most valuable asset. It's something we don't get back. So I appreciate you being here. We'll be
Also,
here next week at
Will.
12. Oh, okay. What's up?
You got to tell everybody. So if you want this done for you, we will be able. The company can help with that. So if you want to learn how to do this, be taught it, coach through it, or it's just done for you. It's all there. Like, it's available. You don't have to go reinvent the wheel and create all this on your own.
Nope. You'll probably spend more money and time doing so in the process. So if you guys need any help, reach out to any of us here. We're happy to talk with you. Thanks for being here with us. We're here every Friday at 12 noon Eastern. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care, everyone.